Welcome to the Red Rope Walkthrough, where I make 1 to 2 jokes and tell you how to get through the House of Fire. Feel free to mute me, otherwise, enjoy. This is probably the fastest house out of the bunch of 4 in those intermediate houses, but you're going to die a lot. At least we did. In this room you'll find the main enemy across the House of Fire, which is the Witch. In order to kill her, you're going to need to run your rope across her body, as you would the ghosts in the first few houses. Unlike them, however, she doesn't immediately die. Instead, she'll burn alive and chase you for a set amount of time. You're going to need to run away from her, and the biggest obstacle you'll face is that if your rope is too long, she'll be able to get it and burn through it. So this is one of those houses where you don't really want your rope to be 1 or 2 lengths long. It really should just be 1 length long or less. Once you kill the witch, push the button, kill the skeleton, and you can head to your left. We got another enemy type. He's another spear dude. You fought a lot of spear dudes, and this spear dude is different because he lights on fire. It's almost a theme. As you can see, his body gets bright orange, and at that point he's flaming and will burn through your rope. You'll need to time your attack accordingly so that you wrap around him when he's not on fire. The rest of the room is otherwise straightforward. You do have the 4 torches on each corner of the room, and you do need to avoid those lest they burn through your rope. Again, keep that rope short. Size does not matter in this house. Once you kill them all, you can go through the left or right upper doorways, and it'll just matter which positioning you like. I'd actually recommend to go through the right upper doorway. We went through the left, and it was a little bit harder because of our decision. If you enter through the right, you'll have immediate access to that right spear guy, and you can kill him. We're going to have to kill him after we cross the Great Sea of Lava. Crossing that Great Sea requires just a bit of timing and reaction speed. You see those platforms moving up and down? You can take the time to memorize how they move up and down. Otherwise, the main trick is you just move forward the second you see a platform raised from the lava. It'll take a little getting used to. We died a few times, but it won't be that difficult. Hitting both the yellow buttons will raise platforms to get to the middle, which allows you to kill the final spear guy. Once you do that, we're going to exit to the left. Make sure you kill all 3 skeletons, 2 of which are in those upper platforms, and the other one is hidden in the middle. We got a new mechanic right here, and these are platforms that will crumble away the longer you stand on them. Unlike some other games, these platforms won't disappear immediately after you get off them. Rather, it is about how long you stay on them. Once you're off of them, they'll repair slowly over time. So the key point with all this is just make sure you don't follow the same path for too long, otherwise the platform will drop and take you down into the lava. You have 2 witches you need to kill. In order to kill them, I would recommend that you follow the outward outline of these tiles. So you'll run around in a counterclockwise circle or clockwise circle in order to get away from them when they are on fire. One thing to watch out for that we were able just to coincidentally overcome is that the elevators are very slow. If you wait for them to come down while you're on those crumbling platforms, most likely you'll die. So you want to wait in the middle and time it just right so you get on those platforms as they're descending. Once they take you up, kill the spear guy, and then you're going to drop down into the left bottom exit. We got another room with crumbling platforms, and it's very much the same of what we did previously. You want to burn the witch, move in a large counterclockwise or clockwise circle until she expires, and then get back onto solid ground, whether that's the elevators or that platform that's moving left to right. That is the only platform that will not crumble beneath you. After you get those two witches, you need to set your sight on those spear guys. They're a little harder to get because there's less maneuverability. But you can get on that moving platform and go to the opposite side of the spear guy to give yourself a little wiggle room. You can go ahead and try to kill the skeletons on those raised columns in the middle. There's one hidden that you can go around, but you do need your rope to be long enough in order to kill them. A short rope is very hard to do, and at the end of the day, you're more likely to die than kill them and live, so I wouldn't worry about them. Once you destroy those bozos, kill the silver key kid, and then you're going to exit to your upper right. We went to the upper left one because we're stupid. We're now headed to the mini boss of this house, the Pyromancer, so get focused and get ready to die. The Pyromancer perhaps is one of the most difficult because you don't really have time to evaluate the situation when you come into the level. As with the previous houses, we're going to show how we died once to this boss, but skipped the rest just because it's a lot of sadness and lack of coordination. The Pyromancer has a basic set of moves in which he'll prance over to you and occasionally lob 2 fireballs at you at a time. You can't attack him immediately because he has flame protection much like the spear guys. What you're going to have to do is dodge about 2 rounds of fireballs before he extinguishes himself. If he's on the lower platforms and you're on the upper platform, you can hide behind those L-shaped barriers in the corner to not get hit by those fireballs. He will follow you though, and what you want to make sure is that you don't stay on those crumbling platforms for too long while also staying on the left side of the stage. Sometimes he will not extinguish after 2 sets of fireballs. It'll take 3 instead, so you need to be on your toes. Once he does extinguish himself, you have about 8 to 10 seconds of time to catch up to him and wrap around him. He will stop at the point when he's ready to put his flame protection back on, and that's actually the best time to wrap around him if you're quick enough. If you want to avoid losing too many lives, you have to take this very patiently and only attack him once you're in prime position. Once you do kill him, go ahead and kill the key kid, and you're going to move to your right. Hopefully you didn't die too many times in that boss room. Now we find ourselves in a more typical room. We have a lot of crumbling platforms and 3 spear guys. The object of this room is to kill one and move back onto solid ground. For those guys on the left and right, it's not as scary as it may seem. If you time it correctly, you're going to be able to go after him, kill him, and return safely without any of those platforms crumbling. You essentially want to leave from solid ground when you see one of those guys put on their flame protection. By the time you get to them, that flame protection will be gone. Once you do kill all of them, you're going to head right again. This room can be a little nightmarish in terms of how long you need to wait for the switches to go around, but it isn't too bad at the end of the day. Those revolving switches control whether the 2 little squares, noted here, will go up or down. As long as one person is on the switch, those platforms will remain in their move position. As you saw us do for that first platform on the left, we immediately crossed the switch so that platform didn't raise itself. In order to get to that right platform, you can ride the button all the way to the other side, at which point you're going to need to both cross over at the same time onto that small opening and stay there. What it's going to do is raise you up before the spear guys can get a hold of you, allowing you more time to kill them. Once you've dispatched all of them, hit the 2 yellow buttons to raise the platforms around the stage, creating one interconnected circle. Get on those rotating switches again, and you're going to exit up or down in the middle in order to get to the outer edge. Once you complete that, you can enter through the bottom right or bottom left exits. This room will probably take you the most time in the House of Fire, and this is also a room where you'll see our patented wrap, kill, and then die in lava technique, as seen right here. Thanks for the demonstration, Player 2. This is a 100% improvement from the run directly into the enemy or into the lava technique, which didn't kill any enemies but only killed us. As you notice with this stage, we have 4 flaming guards circling about the room. You also see 4 switches on the upper and lower portions of the room. Thanks again, Player 2. Hitting all the switches in the level will ultimately make the stage look like this. As I've talked about in previous videos, it helps to be patient because it causes you to lose fewer lives. As you saw, there was ample space between the 2 sets of guards to allow you to skirt in between them and hit the switches without having to kill any of them until you had more room. Player 2 and I decided to do none of that and lost a bunch of lives trying to kill 2 of the guards. Once we did that, we transitioned to trying to hit all the switches, as you see right now. Keep in mind throughout the stage, you're going to be walking on the crumbling platforms. That's still the case when all the platforms are up and you're chasing after that silver key kid in the middle. Take your time, or don't, kill them all, including the silver key kid, and then we're going to head back to our left towards the house's exit. And one last time, thank you again, Player 2, for showing off the technique. Here we have our final room of the house, and we have 4 witches to dispatch. We have a lot of room to maneuver, so you're going to hit one witch and just keep going on your way until that witch extinguishes itself. As with the other rooms, follow the outer boundary so you have enough room to move. Make sure you do not touch the wall or collide against each other, otherwise you will be slower and you will be caught by the witches. Once you burn all the witches, kill the skeletons, go to your left, and then you'll go down and out of the house. Well done. You have now finished 3 of the intermediate houses. We're going to go after the final one, the House of Wind, next. Until then, well, bye.